one here. That's a great map. I like this one. In the bottom right we do have Solar, in the bottom left we have Shameless. I usually like maps like this, which are kind of just mirrored maps, and like or what? How would you call this? This would be vertical mirrored, right? Horizontal mirrored, vertical mirrored. I like this one. I think it's some great stuff. Now PvZ, I think we kind of... I'm hoping to see if Nicorak can beat Jumi and then potentially go up against Hero. We'll try to jump over. I probably should open up the stream from someone there. See how that's gonna fare. Keep an eye on that one. There's that pig guy, he's in that one. Oh, Jumi did just win a map apparently. And there was the 2-0, I'm afraid. So we lost the last Terran in this tournament. The last hope, Terrans, has been eliminated. And yeah. So there we go. We got rid of that last Terran, so it's mostly Protoss left, and I think Solar. Like Hero, Jumi, Shameless, Gerald, Rebellion, and Solar. So we stick with Solar, that's a good one. So we at least do not have only PvPs. Maybe we'll get one PvP or something, I don't know. Potentially in the Grand Finals there could be an argument to be made that Gerald might be able to beat Solar, because he's actually quite good in PvZ. It might be his strongest matchup. And yeah. Now on the other hand though, Solar is Solar, and he's like one of the scariest players of all, kind of. He has really a bunch of achievements as well himself. He has like, I think, DreamHack wins, he has GSL wins, he has a lot of things, a lot of accomplishments, a lot of second places, round 4 finishes. He's a very, very strong player. Not expecting Shameless to win here at all. But I would be surprised, like, wouldn't be surprised if Shameless can make like some very good games, can maybe take a map. But in the best of 3, I'm kind of expecting Solar just to take it. Well, he gets that creep chimmer, but he loses an adept, so definitely not worth it. Oracle common in here. Solar is just making a bunch of links and run across the map right now to try and probe that base. Oh, just walking into queens like that. It's not gonna be great. Already eating damage without even getting good vision. And Solar's just been nothing but droning behind this. Now Link's trying to come in here, gonna get poked at by that adept and oracle combination. The overlord's just casually hanging in the base, looking at everything. We do see a stalker weapon now finally to get that one cleared. And Twilight Forge follow-up is gonna start here. Now, can he get maybe a drone? A little bit of Miss Micro is gonna get one drone to safety there. And a little bit more damage on those oracles, both going into the yellow. Now, Link's at the front should not be able to get in. I don't think really he can do much here. Maybe he could kill 2 of these adepts, that would be great. There's actually a lot of adepts. Maybe he can get some probes, man. They're a little bit exposed here, to be honest. And Shameless not really microing those. But this is quite a few adepts. I'm wondering if he wanted to go for a glaives follow-up, but this is like, I talked about this I think yesterday. It used to be so standard to only see 2 adepts, and these days it's very normal to see up to like 7 adepts, sometimes even 9 in rare cases, but it can be basically anything between 2 and 7 really. And we see already here another 6 adepts. Of course, if you have been rewarped, oh my lord. If you have been rewarped here to keep that base safe, but yeah, this is basically just a pressure. Not really an attack even, it's just trying to control the Zerg a little bit. Oh my god, he misses the... What is this, man? Shameless. Oh my god, at least he will get that queen which was misrallied. That's a good catch, and maybe he can get some damage done. But I don't like these adept moves usually, because it's a lot of money actually. If you think about this, this is like 600 minerals and what, like, I don't know. How much gas? Like 100 gas, 125, 150 gas something, right? It's not that much gas, but it's a lot of minerals. And you just run them in like that and they die like that? They didn't really accomplish anything, did they? He killed the queen on the fringe of the creep, that was nice. But then I think he even might have lost an oracle. Yeah, he lost an oracle in return, and then he lost the rest of these adepts. Why did he make 2? It's a little bit overkill, isn't it? So, yeah, not a big fan of that usage. Even throwing down double... They even envision with each other. Is he gonna finish both of them? Thank God. Okay, so definitely a little bit flustered here. Shameless not playing as he wants to play. Not playing to his own level. Now, Drop Overlord coming online here. And there's an observer with this group, so this should get seen. Yeah, he sees this, he spots this. That's a nice catch. And this Overseer does not identify that. Void Ray and Storm on the way. Oh, feedback would be actually nice, yeah? Wouldn't mind a feedback on that Overseer to kind of try and snipe that one. We do see Queens getting dropped here to the front. Overlords there for creep. Roach Ravager attack coming in. Ling drop into the back. Can Shameless hold this one? I feel like he's just missing most of his pieces. He does not have that storm yet. It is still quite far away. Those queens actually get dropped into that stasis, so they're out of the equation for now. Can't really do anything. Needs to be careful. If he loses that Overlord, he loses also the mobility for the queens. Now that being said though, he is inside the bases. Where's the second drop from the Ling drop? Maybe it got killed by the Void Ray, I'm not sure. But he's basically up the ramp, and that's all where he needs to be. Now Storm did finish up, but this is only Storm against Roaches and nothing really to anchor that. GG is gonna be called. Solar is just gonna break Shameless here. Quite easily, I have to say. Not really. Shameless didn't really have anything going for himself there, unfortunately. And yeah, I don't know, man. Like, imagine those... I mean, not like these adepts would have been helping in that defense, but it's just a little bit of fodder you have to get across your... in front of your guys, right? In front of your High Templars, in front of your... what are they called? In front of your Immortals, really? Did he really have Immortals? I think he might have had 2. Not sure, but he lost most of his units so fast. Didn't really have that Zealot follow-up yet. It felt like this attack just hit way too fast for him. And sacrificing all of these adepts, and he made 7. He lost all for literally nothing. Didn't even trade well with Lynx. He lost one of the Oracles. He should have had 2 Oracles, right? With stasis traps being basically everywhere. So, I don't know, man. Maybe making that Panic Void Ray. It did deter or kill that one... what is it called? The Dropper Lord, which was aimed at the main base, which was nice, but that's about it. Didn't really, like... It just was not enough. Now, in the top right of Amygdala, we do have Solar. In the bottom left, it is Shameless. And by the way, guys, we're still waiting on this announcement, right? EWC StarCraft 2 announcement, possibly within one of the next 6 games, the last 6 games to be announced. You can kind of make a case that there should be some big names coming up, because wait, why would you wait for the last announcement with like trash games? You want to announce something big at the end, like everybody getting hyped up. So there's a good possibility that StarCraft can make it. And to think about why, so StarCraft's performance at EWCG of course was not the home run batter, it's not like the craziest thing that happened there, but it's also not the worst by far. It was actually a quite decent showing. We had like, I think 60k-ish or something viewership, live viewership, maybe 60 something, 64, 65k for the final day, which was decent. And it was still in a growth process. We did have a very bad last day, unfortunately. The tournament quality itself was incredibly good. All the matches we had on the tournament, or most of the matches, were quite fought. And were actually very, very good close games, a lot of those. So we had an insane quality of games. We had a really good, probably one of the best tournaments ever just from the games itself. And how much each player really wanted to win that one. So we had a good, nice tournament going. We had an okay viewership, potentially better if we don't go 4-0, 4-0 or 5-0 in the last day, right? But if we go 4-3, 4-2 and 5-3 or something, we probably have like 80k, probably even more. That's still good for StarCraft. It never really was beyond 100,000 regularly. So StarCraft has never been like the biggest esports. I guess it was when esports was still growing, but it was not while esports took really off, right? Even during the peak days for StarCraft 2, which would have been kind of Heart of the Swarm. I say peak days just because Wings of Liberty kept on growing and growing, and it was not fully grown when Heart of the Swarm was released, and a lot of people kind of went away in HOTS, or during HOTS of course, and especially to the end of HOTS. But at the beginning of HOTS it was still growing, so there was still, like, it didn't reach its peak yet, even though the growth was already kind of starting to decline and to stop, and eventually it would like go into a decline, right? And then you'll have Legacy again with another kind of growth, and then it would decline again, and then it is kind of stable right now. It doesn't really decline or go up that much. It's like you have better tournaments, you have a little bit weaker tournaments. We still have good live audiences, kind of packed. Whenever we go to NA, for example, it's always full. So there's a good case to still have StarCraft, but it will not get you those League of Legends viewerships, those Dota 2 viewerships, those Counter-Strike viewerships. But those are all team games. This is one of the most popular one-on-one games still in the world. And that's not to be underestimated. Also, this is like, it's a thing that you have like one-on-one, right? Then you have team on team. Then you have this, like, so for example, a one-on-one tournament does cost way less than a team tournament because you have way less players in total. So you have less hotel rooms to pay for, you have less prize money to be distributed, potentially. You can have, of course, you have potentially the same prize pool in general, so it doesn't really matter in that regard, but that's something you can do, while it's still a big prize pool, or big money for the first place, stuff like that. There's a lot of things you can do with a one-on-one format. Also, strategy does mesh well with people who are in high positions, because chess is a popular thing again. By the way, Solar's just picking apart Shameless here. Now, Oracles did have to be recalled, and they will kill these links, but that's 6 drones, 6 workers for 7, man, for just a bunch of links. Now 5 adepts coming in here, trying to kill those queens. Actually, they just want to trade against those workers, but they just can't get in. Can't catch a break here. Things are looking really good for Solar so far. Killing those workers. Already putting him ahead in that worker department. Now following this up with a Roach Warren. He still has a bunch of queens at home. looking very, very mighty fine here. Should be able to just keep everything at bay. And even throwing in more links, he could potentially kill this Nexus. He forces these oracles to come back. Defend the Nexus. Now he's gonna recharge one of these oracles. I like that choice. I think that's a good move. That really shows, even that, making that in the vision of Solar is like, yeah, you cannot kill this with links. I will not allow this. That's basically what he's saying. And Solar's like, he made extra links. You're like, yeah, maybe I can get this. No way, man. You can't get that one with links only. There's an oracle with full energy. It's gonna kill like 1,000 links before you have that one. Now, links are in the main. And again, killing a bunch of workers. This cannot happen. This probe even here, fighting with the army, will get actually 2 kills. The disciple. But yeah, again, losing 11 workers here. Things are not looking good for our Protoss player, man. And I feel like you can do basically everything you want. He could potentially throw down Nidus. He's going for in his Infestation Pit. Is he gonna go for a Hive? I don't feel like a Hive. It kind of feels like Swarmhost to me, weirdly enough. Swarmhost Nidus. Just because, you know, it's like an easy composition to close out a game. Because you can just trade for free. Now Hydralisk Den is on the way as well. Might just be for actually that Hive then. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of things you really can do here as Solar, so let's see what he wants to do. Now, this might happen for the first time in a professional match. I wonder if he actually connects the creep here. This potentially will save these structures. Creep is now connected and you will see this bleeding stop. There you go. 141 HP. And it does stop the bleeding. And he also will connect the creep fast enough. This one, that's the one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Stoker's trying to intercept this one. He will get the bleeding stopped. Okay, so Surgeon Solar here, trying to save the debris. He did manage to do. This is the key creep tumor here. He needs to defend that one to keep these overmined structures intact. You cannot transfuse those. I will repeat, you cannot transfuse those. Those are just armored structures. They are not biological. They don't have the tag biological, even though they look like a big clump of bio. Oh no. He just realized. And then he kills them. He just realized. I thought he would have tried to assimilate the overmind there. Now he's just going into that lurker den. Oops, this is the one, of course. He has the hive already done. He has a big Roach Ravager Lingam army. And he's kind of granting a little bit of space to Shameless, but Shameless has no army to actually push across in the map. He's trying to go for Storm, he's trying to go for those good upgrades. +2 is about to finish, he's getting into charge, it's not done yet. Fleet Beacon in the way to try and get some Tempest, Carrier or Mothership out. The way he likes it. I don't think Carrier's a good idea. Probably Tempest or Mothership, maybe both. With no extra star gates, this just looks like a Mothership to me, which should be the best unit to add in this composition. But I am afraid you, my sir, you will not be able to keep this structure alive against this onslaught of Zerg here. That being said though, Nice Storms could be enough, but I think Solar's just gonna snipe it. Gonna throw down a few biles, get the confirmed cancel. And Shameless has to retake this one. Now, can he get some damage with that blink forward? I don't think so, no. He's just gonna lose one Stalker, trade it for like one Ling and whatever that was, a Roach or something. Not a trade you want to take. Has these High Templars quite offensively still chilling here. And we do see the first few lurkers and that Hydra dancing in the midst of those. Of course, as should be. Now a few Zealots going to the north. No static D, no burrow. And he needs to bring some units actually to clear this one. And this is also where he makes that Spinecrawler, I guess it was. I was about to say Spire, but this is inside the back of the main base. Now frontal push coming in again. Lurkers are here. They're not in range really. But I can't actually hit anything behind this pylon. Needs to move them a little bit forward. But storms are numerous. He has like 10 storms or something in this High Templar pack. So he should probably start to try and grind this down with a few storms. There we go. First storm is gonna hit. Mothership should be able to keep this safe. Just utilize the cloak and warp in a unit so he cannot kill that off. But he does actually lose that base here. He's gonna try and kill whatever he can here in the back. But this is not really an army that's interesting to Solar. He wants to free up that supply anyway, as he has them bank. So just trying to trade this as well as he can. Those 500 Templars still have a bunch of storm. Not a fan of those storms. Now storm, now's the time. When he moves in, not when he stands there. Even those lurkers being stormed, I think, is a good idea, because otherwise he's just gonna lose his High Templars, man. He's pushing forward with his High Templars miraculously. They're staying alive, but in the end, those 2 lurkers here on the bottom are sniping all of them, and they still had so much energy. He did never grind down the army properly. Now he's making single fight Tempest out of that Stargate. Mothership about to fall here, even though he's actually shooting a bunch of guys at the same time. But it doesn't matter, man. Hydras alone, kind of overpowering this army. A few reinforcements coming in, not gonna be enough. But these 2 lurkers? Oh, so painful. Now Shameless trying to retake another base here in the north, but 2 Hydras do find this one. We do get some reinforcements here in the bottom. These 2 lurkers still anchoring this position. Actually with a lot of kills at this point. One is in range of the very edge of that mineral line as well. We do see a nice few storms, but in the end it's not going to be enough. Shameless is going to get broken. Fucking Solar takes the series. Is going to go up against Gerald or Rebellion. I'd argue it's going to be Gerald, because I think Gerald is a very good player. I think Rebellion is not on the level.